Is this your first visit to Uzbekistan? What are your impressions of Tashkent?
This is actually my first time being here in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, and I was very excited because I've never been here, and but we just arrived today, so it's too early for me to have a huge impression. But I love the architecture, and the people are nice, and I'm yet to try the food, which is exciting, and I hope to do it later today.
Are you interested in music from Central Asia?
It's quite interesting in general to study different music from different cultures, and especially here in this region, you know, you have such a unique expression of music and traditional folk music, which is usually, you know, as a composer to use tiny bits of elements or even instruments, like you have this pipe, the traditional pipe. It's so beautiful, and maybe even in film scores it would be lovely to incorporate these elements and use them as spices.
You began your career as a classical pianist. What influenced your decision to move into crossover and rock arrangement?
I studied classical music, of course, and classical composition, but I always knew that I didn't want to be a traditional classical performer in a way that I always liked to compose my own music and come up with my own musical ideas, and so I really wanted to focus more on composing and arranging, and that's how it came about that I started doing arrangements and covers for various you know, hit songs like pop, rock songs, and even film music. So it's actually a very great exercise as well as an arranger to make something work on a different instruments like the piano, and make it sound like it was meant to be played on the piano, or it was originally written for the piano. So it's a good challenge, but I think there's a great deal to learn from doing those covers.
Do your covers come to life? Does the process begin with an emotion, a melody, or a specific arrangement idea?
Yeah, usually of course it comes from the melody, which is the soul of the song itself, and also for me personally, rhythm is very important. So I'm always thinking in rhythmic structures, and as well as how to, like for example, I have the loop station with me, which is a great way to build up these songs. So I don't, you know, I can play different parts like the bass, the guitar, the drums, even the drums on the piano, the same way Ed Sheeran does with the guitar. And you know, you have all these pieces and different tracks, and you put it together, and it sounds like a whole orchestra is playing. So that to me is my way of putting all these things together.
Have you received the warmest welcome? In your opinion, how does the audience differ from place to place?
It can be different. Like I would say, maybe not so much about cultures, but how you move from south to north. People have different blood temperatures, I guess, but it's I think in general. People are very welcoming, and they're very kind and appreciative of the music usually. I can't even tell you exceptions, because I think music in general is such a language that everybody speaks. So it's there's no real cultural differences, because once the music starts, somehow all people can connect.
Do you adapt your concert program depending on the country?
Sometimes I do, but I like to keep it the core structure to be what I originally imagined, and how I presume the audience expects me to play the songs, like if you know, the songs that you would find on the internet, like that you would find on YouTube or Spotify. So I need to be conscious that I have to include those songs, because some people, you know, come to the concert and they want to hear those songs, and so this is a big part of the show, of course. But sometimes I change, because I have a lot of original compositions, and sometimes, you know, I decide, you know, which one to play. Maybe I'm playing something that I've never played before, and I test on the audience if they like it or not. So, you know, it varies, but I guess 80-90% it's the same kind of thing.
Have you ever tried to break that record again, or set a new one in a different category?
Yeah, it's funny, because I did that Guinness World Record as a joke. Basically, there's no real artistic value in playing so fast. It's a fun game though, and it's also the credit goes to the piano maker and the mechanics of the piano, because on some pianos you just can't play that fast. And so yeah, I did it for fun, but I don't think I'd like to repeat that attempt again, because it's kind of silly. Like 10 years ago, yes, of course, but maybe not now.
Do you remember any funny or unexpected comments from your audience?
There's always like that. I remember when I started doing this, playing the percussion on the piano and everything, and plucking the strings. Some of the top comments were always like something like, "I paid for the whole piano, so I'm gonna use the whole piano." And this kind of like almost they became like quotes, and sometimes I even use it. If I post a video or something, I put those top comments as the title for the video, because they are funny.
What kinds of projects are you inspiring you lately? Are you planning a new album or any collaboration?
Yeah, I am finishing currently an EP, like a small album of Disney classic songs, and this is gonna be on the Steinway Stereo, which is, you know, a piano that can record and play back what you played. So basically, I can do a four-handed version with myself. And I'm also, because I already had a few symphonic shows, which I'm so passionate about. I love writing for symphonic orchestra, for piano and symphonic orchestra, and also arranging and writing original music. And it's one of my dreams to actually make a bigger tour with symphonic orchestra, and hopefully record an album very soon.
Would you give to young pianists who want to go beyond classical music and develop their own unique style?
It's a tough question, because it's one of the biggest struggles and challenges in one's life, is to really find that specific thing that you're talented in, and that you are inspired by. And it's not an easy job, but I would say in general, for any instrumentalist, when they play something that they really love, I mean, I know that in school you have to learn a few things, and sometimes you don't like the piece or something, and that can be, you know, disappointing for some people. I know people that quit, playing the piano because I don't want to practice this particular piece or whatever. So I usually suggest that if they really like something, they should play that first, because then they will rewire their brain to be more in love with the instrument, and because then you're doing something that you actually like spending time with. So, but as far as finding a unique voice I think it's difficult, and it's I would say the most important thing would be to find your talent, because I think that comes first. That has to come first, to realize what you are really talented in, and once you know that, I think you just build on that.